Okay, thank you very much for waiting until the very last session of this year's edition of the EuCNC 2019. As I mentioned several times along this week, it has been a pleasure for me and for all my team to host these events in Valencia, the Global 5G event Monday and Tuesday, the EuCNC from Tuesday to today, and also the Celtic event co-located with the two of that. And I would also mention that probably we have made many first-time things, like the first time we see an hologram on stage, live connection through 5G, the first connection to the TV news using 5G camera live, on Wednesday. Probably it's the very first time that welcome reception has an helicopter and an unmanned boat to receive you in the city. And after all, many other first things that you have, or first time things that you have shown in your booth and your demonstrations. Obviously, I also thank all the workshop organizers, the session organizers, the tutorial trainers, the keynotes, the panelists. That has been an excellent program, which is a result of the addition of many small contributions, or very many number of contributions from very many people. Let me also express my gratitude on behalf of the City Hall and the regional government, because probably you know now that in Valencia everything is possible, or almost everything is possible. We got the challenge of having an event with such a number of demos and demonstrating that 5G is ready, that the 5G technology is really there, running and is prepared for making the next year's industry more competitive. It's the revolution that has to come mainly for the industry, also for our mobile phones, and so for our lives. Thank you very much for coming. Let me give the floor to the first speaker in the closing sessions, Mr. Bernard Barani. Please come on stage on behalf of the European Commission. Thank you very much.
So thanks a lot, Narcis. And first of all, I would like to convey the apologies of my head of division, Peter Stuckmann. He was supposed to be here with you today, but because of personal problems, he could not make it. So you will have to bear with me for these conclusions. It's definitely not a lack of interest from his side. On the contrary, he was really willing to come, but couldn't make it. So again, apologize for that. So on our side, I think we can all share, if we want to make a couple of conclusions on the conference, we can all share the view that it was a great vintage, or a great EuCNC year. I think this year we had more than 616 registered participants, almost 100 more than last year. So it shows the interest for the event. 240 papers submitted, again much more than last year. We had 70 booths, although doubling the number of booths. 25% of papers submitted outside from Europe, also showing the interest that the conference is raising, and this without taking into account the 5G Global event that was organized during the first 2 days. And our perspective is that it was really great to have the two events combined, because it really allowed us to have a complete perspective from what is happening now in terms of deployment, in terms of creation of the ecosystems, which will lead to hopefully high commercial success. And on the other hand, couple this with the challenges ahead, what's to come for the next period, and what are the ideas which are floating in the industry and in research centers for the future. We have heard many of these ideas, so I will not go through them. There were several sessions to discuss about the future, what could be technologies for the future to investigate, and what are the challenges that 5G will not solve and will remain. So we'll take that on board. For us, it's not only important to have an idea that one topic is important, artificial intelligence, machine learning, or whatever. What is important is to understand that behind this topic, there is a large set of stakeholders which are interested in working in it. Because, of course, we don't want to work for the interest of a very limited set of vested type of interest. That's our mission, to support public type of interest. Public type of interest means a large and shared interest. So all these topics which are emerging now, it will be our duty in the next few months and as we move into the next research period to really verify that there is a huge set of stakeholders which are behind and which are ready to set up some ambitious roadmaps for the benefit of Europe and for the collective benefit altogether. So now, very short-term views. As you know, this was presented by my director in this opening speech. We have a short-term agenda with the Next Work program. So the Next Work program was agreed by the member states last month, so it's going to be published 9th of July. So 9th of July, for this specific 5G or 5G-related topics, we will have 4 topics open. So one first topic with submission date in November, which will be on connected cars. The difference with the previous connected car subjects that we opened some time ago is that it also includes a railway type of corridors, so there is room for railway type of applications. Second, in January, we have a submission date for what we call innovation for core technologies, which is supporting SMEs and smaller actors to develop bits and pieces of elementary technology that will feed and fuel 5G networks, can be antennas, all sorts of microelectronics components or whatever. So that's something which is open for January. And in April, submission date April, we have 2 possibilities of submission. One which we call innovation in smart services. So it's more the type of service that you can launch on top of 5G platforms. And the second one, which will be, let's say, the kind of framing research for the next period, what we call the Smart Network and Services research agenda for the next 5 to 10 years. So that's a full plate that you can already exploit. If you have good ideas, please be welcome to exploit these opportunities. For the long term, this year is really a critical year for us, where we will have to work hand in hand with the industry associations, with the research community, and with the people who are interested in pushing forward the partnership that was presented by my director 2 days ago. And really our ambition is really to conclude by the end of the year to have clean, let's say, conclusions on what type of partnerships we promote for the next period, what are the basic, let's say, roadmap directions for research, and what is the overall collective ambition that Europe wants to propose to move forward. And one thing I want also to mention, because we have had the chance to have a number of international participants here, when it comes to international cooperation, we will not put the cart before the horse. That means that we need first to define with European actors what it is that they want as a roadmap. And once we have this stable roadmap and this stable perspective, we can open this to international cooperation if there are potential win-win situations to have this type of partnerships. But we need to work a little bit in sequence to make this type of things clear and well understood for the wider community. So with this, I wish you a safe trip back and hope to see you in Dubrovnik next year. I want also, of course, to thank very much the organizers, Narcis and all his team from Valencia, the local organizers. I think they made a very wonderful job. Also, Luis Correa from the steering committee, I think he also invested quite a lot of time and efforts to shape the programs, and all the colleagues which have been involved in this 5 days adventure. We thank them very much. I cannot mention them all, would be far too long and outside tracks. But again, be assured of our entire gratitude, and we very much appreciate all the efforts which have been done by all of you, including the very good support that all the sponsors have provided to this event. So thank you very much, and hope to see you next year.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your kind words, Bernard. Let me call on stage the President of the 5G Industrial Association, Mr. Colin Wilcock. Again, thank you for your trust in our capacity of organizing such a real global 5G event we had this week. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, I think the trust was clearly well placed. Huh? I mean, fantastic. What a fantastic week. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the week, well, you missed something. It was quite amazing. What a fantastic city. Not just always sunny, but a spectacular social events, seeing the best side of things, and brilliantly organised. But it's Friday. People are thinking about, when's my plane? When do I have to leave? So I will not hold you long. I'll just have 2 minutes and then I'm gone. I've got no slides, don't worry about it. But I did just want to make 3 thank yous. And I guess it's echoing what other people have said, but let me explicitly say it. Firstly, I want to thank the organisers. I want to thank Narcis for fantastic organisation locally, for Luis for doing the global organisation. To be honest, it was quite a difficult decision to actually choose to have the global event co-located with EuCNC. Within the board of the association, we had a lot of discussions, and there were those who were saying, oh, but is that a good idea? And will we be able to fit all of that into 1 week in one location? And after discussion, we decided, no, it was the right decision. And we made the right decision. I think it's been a fantastic, both events, and I think both events have strengthened each other. I think the ability of the global event to bring in perhaps more international players from Korea, from Japan, from China, from the USA, has added to EuCNC, but equally, EuCNC and those project and research sides has really added to the global event. So it's been win-win, it's been fantastic. Thank you to both of you, especially for making it a fantastic event. Without you, it certainly wouldn't have been half what it has been. But I also want to thank 2 other sets of people. The first I want to thank is the people who've been manning, who've been creating those booths and demonstrations outside. That has been the core of what we've shown. This is how we've impressed our international partners. The breadth, the quality of those project presentations, those project demonstrations has been wonderful. It's been wonderful to see the transition from, here's my PowerPoint slide, honest, it will be brilliant, to real 5G. Not over cable, but real 5G through the air. And that's been a spectacular success, at least in my opinion. And then the last group to thank is actually yourselves. You've actually stayed till the end. Congratulations, because it's not easy on a Friday to stay. Thank you for staying, for taking the time. Appreciate it. Hope to see all of you next year at EuCNC, and I wish you a good trip home. Thank you.
So, thank you very much. Now is the time for the emotion, because I have to say, shamefully, that the EuCNC 2019, in general, the Valencia 5G Week is closed, it's over. So again, thank you very much, everybody, for staying in Valencia for 1 week. I hope you can come at any time to enjoy not only the city, but also to have fun, but also to have some works and projects. In Valencia, we have very nice teams of people doing research. So I wait for you. I wait to continue the cooperation with many of these faces that I see here today, and to continue the research progress or the path beyond 5G, probably towards a future 6G. And in some years, we will say that the global 5G event is indeed the global 6G event. Who knows? Thank you very much. I have to declare the EuCNC 2019 closed. Thank you very much. And now it's time to hand over the flag to the next year's edition. Do you know where the next year's edition takes place? Yesterday, I did this small kind of handover flag video to our colleagues in Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Hello, how are you?
How are you doing?
Are you enjoying
Yeah, sure. Nice event. You organize it quite well.
preparing the next edition, right?
Yeah, sure. 5G Transform is always present at all EuCNC editions.
Of course. Do you know where it is?
Yes, of course. In Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Okay, good. Thank you. See you there.
Nice meeting you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Do you know where the next edition of EuCNC takes place?
Yes, in Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Okay, thank you.
Dubrovnik, Croatia.
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 Yes, it's here. Hello. How are you?
How are you doing?
Is this the right place to ask for the next edition?
Oh, can I first know what are your intentions? Are you maybe intending to take over the Iron Throne?
No. Just, plans are only to organize the EuCNC 2020.
Oh, then definitely you are at the right place.
Okay, thank you very
yes,
much.
we are going to organize the next edition of the EuCNC 2020. We are very determined to make it a good event. We have manpower, goodwill, we have facilities, scalable.
And where is it?
It is in Dubrovnik, in Croatia.
Come, I have something for you. Come with me.
Okay, I will take it then.
Yes, thank you.
So Vlatko had to fly before noon today to Dubrovnik, so we wait for you next year in Dubrovnik in Croatia. Let me close the whole session. This is not very, so the mayor is not here, the authorities are not here, but all my team that made possible that this week we had all this stuff around here. Come to the stage because I want the last picture to be with you. You deserve this applause and the last picture of the Global 5G event and the EuCNC 2019. You can come faster even if you... So it's Jose, Martina, Sofia, Carlos, Manuel, Edu, Gerardo, Alex, Alicia, Andrea, Irene, and next, Samuel, Danaisi, David, Álvaro, Marc, Sergio, Saúl, sorry, Hanesh, Santi, okay? So this is the I team, ladies and gentlemen, but they are researchers, they are doing nice research. Okay, got it? Thank you very much. The session is closed. Have a nice trip back home. There is some food to go in case you want to rush and have lunch while you travel. Thank you very much.